Hello and welcome. My name is Anastasia Zatula, and today we're discussing energetic vampires. I hope you're excited as I am. Well, I am a Reiki master, so you can believe me when I tell you that there are really no energetic vampires. Honestly, there are no reason even to make this conversation, but I will do because our energy is drained and we need to fix it, and sometimes it is drained to people, to circumstances, to different things. So I will address and I will tell you how to protect yourself from these so-called energetic vampires. Now, before I will even start, I can assure you that nobody can just invade your space and take your energy. Nobody. I'm telling you, I study energy for many years. I'm Reiki master. I work with other people's energies. There is no such thing. You have an aura for a reason, and that aura is unbreachable. Yes, it could be weak. For example, if you don't have enough energy within your aura, or if you don't have soft borders established, or maybe you maybe you have certain energy centers blocked, so they make it a little weaker, but still you have an aura, and that aura belongs to you. It's like the earth is rotating around the sun. It has its own and around itself, right? So it has its own kind of path, right? And the energy is within it. So nothing outside can really disrupt that energy. I mean, if something is really big, then maybe, but for the most part, the earth's energy is stuck to itself. So your energy is basically within you. You have somewhat like a magnet that holds that energy, and the magnets are your energy centers, your chakras. So there is no fear. If you are afraid that somebody will look at you and decide, what a yummy energy Anastasia has, let me grab some, that's impossible. So nobody's going to take anything from you unless you want. Even with me, you know, I do your energy alignment. You ask me for it, you pay me for it, and I still every day tell you to accept the energy. Why? Because I should not be invading your space, and it's not even holistic, so to say. So trust me, once you ask me to do energy alignment, I already have your permission, so to say, but I still ask you to accept the energy. Just imagine how hard it is. Now, sometimes I do send energy to some of my clients, maybe even sometimes my friends, when I feel like they need some. And when I send the energy to them and I don't ask them to accept the energy, I don't connect to their higher self. I basically neutralize the aura around them. That's all I do. So the energy within them can neutralize itself, can harmonize itself. So because outside forces influence the aura, the aura has to be strong not to be influenced by it. So what I do when I send the energy, I basically just send like harmonious energy towards the aura. And so the aura, the person with the aura, slowly, little by little, neutralizes and harmonizes itself. Now, somebody can send you bad energy. I don't think it would be any Reiki or energy practitioner, because everybody knows that you could not do this. But let's imagine that there is somebody with a super strong energy and wishes you bad, so to say, and sends you really bad energy. Now that bad energy will never come inside unless you allow it. So it will shake your aura a little bit, but that's it for the most part. Unless you will allow it in, it will never really influence you anyhow. So for sure, I can guarantee you, nobody can just can feed off you. But even though nobody can do that, there are people that are feeding off some of your energies for years and years and years, and it's not always the people. Now, I would call this. These people that are feeding you off. I even had people like this. I had situations like this, circumstances like this, and they were getting my energy for years and years. I wouldn't even call them energetic vampires. I would call them energetic leeches. That would be more appropriate. But since energetic vampire is more acceptable term, let's call it like that. Now, they usually some of the people or circumstances, they don't take much of your energy. They take particular, just small amounts, and because they take such a small amounts, for the most part, people are not bothered by it. So it's like, okay, so whatever. Another somebody took a little bit. It's like you go to the store and something, you used to buy coffee for $3, now you're paying $3.25, and you're like, whatever, take your quarter, the extra quarter, and you feel like, well, it's not much, but it does adds up. So, but usually they don't really take that much energy. If you believe that somebody is draining you completely, that's hard to believe, honestly, because your aura is designed to self-protect. It's almost impossible for the aura to kind of destruct itself like this, like giving energy to somebody else. It's not really, it's impossible. Like I'm telling you, it's impossible. I ask, this was like a really, really interesting subject for me, because I always thought that I have a whole bunch of energetic vampires. And they're draining me, and that's why sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I'm not motivated. Before, I used to be like this, and I used to basically talk about this to every single energy like Reiki master or energy person that came to my life. I would ask every single one. I asked like really, really strong people, and everyone would tell me, look, there is no such thing as energetic vampires. It's you who allow them to take. So I can assure you, if you have somebody who practices energy, you can ask them. There is no such thing. Now, energetic vampires are not always people, as I said. This could be events. Like for example, I had a couple events in my childhood that I remembered for many, many years, and they were somewhat traumatic. You see, you can even prove me wrong, but there are certain events that you don't remember. Our mind tends to block certain like events that were really hard on ourselves. That's why a lot of people don't remember their childhoods, especially when the childhoods were traumatic. Now, when we were children, our mind were more flexible, so it would block out something that we don't need and keep something that we do need, something that inspires us. Now, since we're grown up now, we tend to kind of do it in reverse. So we keep information that we really don't need, and we don't really focus much on what was good and what is good in our life right now. So for the most part, we're kind of protecting ourselves by focusing on those unfortunate events in our life. So, but I do have a couple events in my childhood that really shook me. Why they shook me? Because they involved a lot of people, and I was, I would say, somewhat embarrassed, especially one event. And I would often remember it. I would often bring it up. I mean, I was a little girl. I was 7 or something years old, so it was not really, you know, it was not shameful of what I did. I basically was like a rebellious little kid, and the things I did were not bad, honestly, but because I got so much backlash from the society, not even from my parents. I mean, my parents were cool pretty much with everything, but from the society, I always thought that it was somewhat bad. So, and those events, they were basically feeding off me for many, many, many years, until I stopped that, until I started practicing energy, until I became a Reiki practitioner, and I took all that energy back. And you know what? All those people that were involved in those situations, they suddenly love me very, very much. Why? Because I'm not feeding that situation my energy any longer. And you can do that too. Again, those were able to live with those situations? Yeah, I was. I mean, it's not like a deal break. I lived many years with them, but every now and then I would remember, and some of my energy would go there. So obviously, if you have a lot of events like this, I mean, a lot of your energy is wasted. And since a lot of your energy is wasted, there is not enough energy for you, for your life, and for moving forward, having a family or having your own business. It is important to get rid of these energetic leeches, like I call them. Now, if you do want to keep track of your past, you like to remember certain things, remember things that inspired you, remember people that inspired you, remember that conversations that were like, like this, you know, like I remember the first time I had a conversation like this. It was a long time ago. I was new in United States. I came, it was like only were like 2 or 3 years here, and somebody told me about a business idea, and I was like all in. I said daydreaming. I'm like, what if my business will become super popular and I will become millionaire within months or something. I used to return to that when I opened the business, and obviously business was not as easy to operate. It was a limousine company, so it had a lot of overhead expenses and everything. But I would often come back to that first time when I thought it was a brilliant idea. So if you want to think about your past, think about a great past. Think about something that inspired you in those moments. Now, if you are more feminine, you are chances are you are drained by others more than if you are masculine. And that's why masculine people, masculine men, masculine women, they're more you would say not even more successful, but they have a more active, bright lives, because they don't hang in certain situations. Really, because they're somewhat selfish and self-centered, they don't really hang in situations, they don't think about people. Nobody is really taking their energy. It's them usually who is taking the energy. Now, if you're feminine or have a lot of feminine energy, you tend to feed. Ideally, feminine energy is the one that's feeding everybody around, but you need to feed kind of it has to be a smart feeding. So for example, I have a husband and he supports me. Now I give him energy as a feminine woman, and he obviously supports me. He provides the security and comforts in my life. That's how the energy exchange is. Now if I give him all the energy and he spends money on something else, then there is no energy exchange between us. Now if I am going to let's imagine I support with my energy somebody else, I don't know, neighbors, and they're not giving me nothing, at one point I will get exhausted. But feminine energy in general is the one that provides energy for everybody around, for everybody involved in their life. So if you have a lot of feminine energy, chances are you have this energetic vampires, energetic leeches in your life for years, because feminine energy people tend to hang in them, in the situations and in people. Now if you're masculine, then chances are you don't have this. Good for you. Now, how to protect? I mean, we're obviously here not to talk about it, but how to protect. You can protect, and as always, the solutions are quite simple. I will give you some steps of what I did and what I tell my clients to do. And I hope, I'm sure, if you will do that, you will be protected, and nobody ever will be able to feed off your energy. And if you will just think about this, and if you think about the steps, you will understand that they're quite logical. So how to protect yourself? So let's imagine you're going through your day, and then suddenly your mood changes, right? And you're like, what happened? You know, I was just a happy camper just 15 minutes ago, and now why I'm so sour? Like, why do I have these fears, these worries? There was a thought that came in, and your energy went with that thought. What was that thought? So you need to basically, as soon as you get a little negative vibe in you need to go back a little bit in the past. It usually doesn't even take 15 minutes. It takes like somewhat maybe 5-7 minutes. You need to go and find that thought. Now, you must understand how it works. This is you, and you have energy around you. And if your energy is clean and positive and amazing, a lot of things around want to get that energy, and this is normal. Now, if you think that people are your only worry, that is not true. It could be certain situations, like money. Money is a huge energetic like it's a huge energetic like a creature, so to say, and it also takes your energy. Now it can give energy back, because like for example, if I think about money and I'm like all inspired and I'm so great, I will get money to me. If I think and I'm scared about money, if I'm worried about money, then the money will take my energy. So you need to, and there is a lot of situations like this. For example, weather. You can think about weather and you're like, my God, is it going to rain tomorrow? Is it going to be cold? And that's it. Hope your energy is there if you start to worry about this. But if you think, oh, such a beautiful weather, thanks God, you get a little bit of that energy back. So it is with everything. And there is like a whole bunch of these little existences that would gladly give energy or take energy, and it's up really to you whether you're going to take or to give. There's really nothing bad or good. It's just basically just how it is. Now, so because there is so many of those existences can grab the energy very fast. So for example, I'm walking on the street and suddenly I feel I don't know, I'm passing by a canalization and I have this smell, and here I start, my God, why I'm in this place, so stinky, this and that, like why don't they clean it? I mean, it was just a moment, just a 5 meters wide moment, but I'm walking for, I don't know, half a mile, and I'm thinking about it. I'm giving my energy to that existence. So I'm already gone far away from it, but I'm still thinking, so I'm giving the energy. So the first thing you need to do, as soon as you catch that something is off, something is not, so your energy is always like this, and suddenly you feel like you're a little down, find what it is, find what threw you off. Like as I said right now, I was walking. It's not like a real example, it's just an example. So let's imagine I'm walking, I'm happy, I'm enjoying the sun, the beach, everything, and suddenly the smell. And if 10 minutes after I'm still thinking about that smell, that's where the energy is going. That smell right now is an energetic vampire. And next time I will be walking in the same area, before I even smell, I will start thinking about this again. I will drop some more energy. You see, this is how it works. So nobody can take the energy, but you can willingly give the energy, and you need to limit who you're giving your energy to. That's basically what it is. To protect from the energetic vampires, you need to limit your energy giving, so to say. So the first thing you do, you basically find the reason, right? So you find the reason. To find the reason, you need to observe your thoughts. Now, constantly observing your thoughts maybe is not the best idea, but you should be aware of your surroundings. You should be aware of your changes, right? Like for example, yesterday I was feeling a little weak, but there was a reason for that. Now I knew what was the reason, so I was not like, I knew it was not some kind of thoughts, I knew it was not some kind of decisions or nothing. I knew that it's a one day weak thing, that it will go away, and it just that's it basically. So I read a book that I wanted to read for some time. I watch a movie, I mean, I got a little inspired and I went to sleep. I knew exactly. But usually when I don't see a reason, I start backtracking my thoughts. So it's good to observe your thoughts, and your thoughts ideally should belong only to you. Why masculine energy doesn't usually feed anybody with their energy? Well, first, because the energy is not that much, and then they have a lot of things, a lot of projects, a lot of ideas that they spend their energy on. Now, your thoughts should always belong to you, and that's where the masculine energy is so amazing, because their thoughts are always belonging to them. They really don't care if they think about somebody or not. They really don't care whether people think they're selfish or not, because frankly they just don't think about you enough to think whether you're thinking about them or not, whether you think that they're selfish or not. And I love that about them, honestly, I do. I really admire even. Now, your thoughts should belong to you, and only to you, and to certain situations and to certain people that increase your energy. I have masculine clients, and most of my clients are masculine, and I love how they're so faithful to themselves. You see, even when they work with me, they basically tell me, Anastasia, I need some of your energy, let's have a consultation like this. I mean, they don't even feel bad about this, and I love that about them. I mean, what to feel bad? You're paying me. I mean, fine, take some energy if you want to. So this is how it should be. Your thoughts should be only about you, only about maybe your projects, about your ideas, about your past or future, and only in the positive positive sense. So if you're thinking about your past, you're only thinking about the good things in your past, or you romanticize your past, whatever. Do what you need to do. Now, if you, I even wrote here, if you must think of somebody, for a man, for example, think of a man that treats you really nice. I mean, you must have somebody in your life that treats you nice. Maybe if you don't have man, maybe it was a grandfather, maybe it was a father, maybe you have brothers, cousins, whoever. There must be some man that treats you nice. Maybe a boy that had a crush on you in school that was really nice. If you can't stop thinking about a particular man, this is usually the case. Women feed men for years and years and years, and especially if you were intimate with him. Now, force yourself to think only about good moments with him. So remember the good moments with him. Don't rerun what he did wrong or what he said wrong that you didn't like. Only the good moments, only the good, bright ideas. And I should mention that people are easier to take energy from you. They will be on your mind more if you touch them. So if you physically touch anybody, especially if you are intimate, you will connect to that person for 6-7 years, depending on your energy, obviously, but this is how it is. So that person will be coming up in your mind again and again and again, trying to grab some energy. Again, it's up to you to give the energy or not to give the energy. Like the other day, I met this guy. He's not like a lover, nothing like that, but he is working in the building that I'm staying in. And every time he sees me, he basically tries to shake my hand, and he would not just like stretch. And I don't like to shake hands because I work with my hands. I transfer energies through my hands, so I usually don't touch people. But he's very persistent. He put the hand and he wouldn't remove until I would take it. And so I shake it once, I shake it twice, and I see that every time he sees me, he's basically stretching his hand, his arm. And I was surprised because I'm pretty much the only one he's trying to shake the hand. So people that you touch, animals that you touch, situations that you were involved, will take your energy, will be the ones that would try to grab a little energy. Up to you whether you will give or not. Now, talking about this guy, I felt off just because he was so much trying. But I switched my thinking. I was like, no, I mean, why would I think about him? There are so many things that they can think about, and I quickly switched my thought process, and that's it. I haven't seen him in like a few days already. Now, so you will do that. If you could not stop thinking about somebody, you need to start focusing on the good things that you had in with that person. Now, if it's somebody who was really traumatic, like let's imagine it was not your boyfriend, something, but let's imagine you're going to school, right? And there was just a person who just hated you from the start. Never once there was a good moment with that person. I would suggest you to stop thinking about that person altogether. Look, force yourself if you have to, but you need to switch your thoughts. There's no way you will be feeding anybody your energy for years. Now, the next thing that you will do, here also, your thoughts are indicators of where your energy is located, and that's a good thing. That means that you can always track where your energy is going. So if I'm thinking about my YouTube channel, I should think more often. Sometimes like I forget that I even have it, and maybe this is my downfall, you see. I love to record videos, I love to post videos, I love everything, but I'm not as diligent as maybe other creators are. Maybe they're like tracking it every single hour or something. So what I want to say, that doesn't mean that I don't want to grow. I do want to grow, so please do follow and like and comment. Now, but what I want to say is that because you know that your thoughts are an indicator of where your energy is, it's very easy to track them. If suddenly, you are thinking about I don't know, but you watch a TikTok and you saw somebody there and you're thinking about that person non-stop, that's where your energy going. That's why famous people become famous and more and more famous, because people are thinking about them, they're giving them their energy, and that's how it works. So you need to make sure that your thoughts and therefore your energy stays within you. It's actually, if you will become more consistent with yourself, more focused, you will be able to locate where your energy is. The thing is that sometimes we believe that somebody else's life is more exciting, and I was talking about this in the last video. about the one-day challenge of becoming desirable to the universe. This is what it is. We think that others' lives are more interesting, and we tend to hang in there and tend to feed them energy. So don't do that. Your job should be to train yourself and to on focusing on yourself, and also removing yourself from any kind of situations or anybody else. Now, you can think about another person only if it inspires you. For example, you have a friend and you guys decided to open a candy shop together, and you're like, this is inspiring. So every time you think about her, you're like, oh, candy shop. It is inspiring, and it's something that feeds you good positive energy, something that you are taking energy from. Think about it. That's a good thing. Now, if you every time think about your friend, and your friend is super successful, and every time you think about her, you start comparing, you're like, how come she's so lucky and I'm not? Then you're giving the energy to her. You're not. Ideally, everybody should be getting energy. Everybody. If you are thinking about your friend and you guys opening candy shop together, you getting energy, she gets energy, and this idea of a candy shop getting energy, everybody is getting something. You see. Now, if you start thinking negative, your friend will feel this negative vibe a little bit. You will feel off because you're comparing yourself to the other, and your whole friendship will get not a very good energy. So watch yourself, watch your thoughts. Your thoughts must belong to you, to your projects, to your ideas, to your life. If you must think about somebody else, think really good. But ideally, you shouldn't be thinking much about others unless they somewhat inspire you. Like I always say, don't put me on a pedestal. Think about me, because I have mentors too. I had mentors for many years, but they told me the same thing. Take from me something that you need, but focus on yourself. Your life should be your own fairy tale. My life is not a fairy tale. It shouldn't be. My life shouldn't be a fairy tale for you. My life is fairy tale for me. Your life is fairy tale for you, and that's how it is. Take something from me, but live your life, kind of. My mentors used to tell me this all the time, and I'm telling you the same thing. So nobody is more perfect, more beautiful, or have more exciting life than others. All right. So now another thing here. Remember that and feeling negative is a habit, and habits can be changed. This is probably the most important. The reason why we give so much energy to situations that we have no control of is because we're so used to think negative about them. If I will tell you now a few words, what would be your first ideas? If I will tell you taxes, everybody will be like, especially because we're getting into the season of paying taxes. But if you pay a lot of taxes, that means that you make a lot of money. So why not to focus on making a lot of money instead of that you will have to pay a lot of taxes, you see? Or for example, what else can I say? TikTok ban seems like to be a hot subject right now. If you have a business on TikTok, obviously you are worried, you're stressed. But why not to think somewhat differently? Why not to think that it will be solved somehow? You have no control, so why to think about this? What I want to say is that when we were little, negative thinking was something out of the ordinary. That's why our mind was blocking a lot of things that were not to our liking. Then we kind of grew into a habit of thinking and protecting ourselves against everything. There's really there's no point in that. There's no strength, no nothing. So I encourage you not to think negatively about nothing. And remember, this is just a habit, and habit can be changed. Like if you watch my videos before, you remember how I told you I did 100 days challenge, and in those 100 days I promised myself not to gossip and not to judge anybody. It was like a real challenge for me, especially because I used to work with people, and it seems like the only thing that was connecting us all was gossiping about about each other, about the clients, about like anything. And I always felt off. So when I took this challenge, it was off, especially the first couple of weeks. It was super awkward. You have nothing to talk about. I told all my colleagues that I'm not gossiping anymore. They felt weird. I felt weird. But we grew to learn to talk about other things, and it was amazing. Apparently, the world is so rich in different interests, and we were just stuck in like this gossiping, judging loop all the time. So what I want to say is this is a habit, and the habit can be changed. You have the power to switch your focus into something that supports you, that supports your energy, that gives you extra energy. Why not to take it? It's really up to you. And you know what? You will tell me it's hard. Yeah, it is hard, especially if you are for a long time been in the somewhat negative loop. But it's, look, you know, you really can't become successful if you don't do something hard. And working with your mind, yeah, might be hard, but it's something that needs to be done. Self-discipline is just as important when you work with your energy and with your mind as when you work with your body or with something else. So just focus on the on situations, on people that inspire you, that give you something good, that give you a good that give you something amazing, so to say. So this is another. Now, I understand that we all are humans and we all have responsibilities. Everybody who's watching my videos are grown-ups. So obviously we all have certain situations that we're not happy about. And we need to, you know, everybody has something to fix, or maybe you know, some problems to need to be solved, or something like that. It's normal. What I ask you to do is, you shouldn't be escaping from these situations or people. If you have maybe cousins that you don't like much, but you could not escape them because you bound together, especially if you're meeting for some family some family events. Now I ask you not to escape them, because if you will be avoiding this situation, for example, you have I don't know, your bed is squeaking and it annoys you, but you are trying to avoid the situation, try to lay on one corner and not on all the others, and you don't know what to do with that. And why I brought this example, because I had a friend, and that's what she was. One time I came to visit her, and I see her bed is like a little crooked, and I'm like, why is your bed like this? And she's like, because I've been sleeping on one side for the last 7 years. And I'm like, okay, but don't you switch a mattress? Don't you change the mattress at all? And she's like, yeah, great idea. And I asked her, why do you sleep on one side? And she's like, because the other side squeaks. And it was so funny. It was funny because I spoke to her like a couple days ago, and we remembered this. So you do not avoid the situation, fix the situation, or give the time frame to the situation. Or if it's let's imagine you have an annoying cousin and you don't see eye to eye, don't avoid the cousin. Face the cousin, face the situation, and find some kind of strength in the cousin, and basically just let it be. You know, if you will be avoiding the situations, avoiding the people, it will not bring you to nothing good. It will be only it will be even harder to face, because look, if I'm facing the challenge, I'm solving it, I'm strong. Now if I will be avoiding the situation, every time I would think about the situation, I will drop so much more energy into it. Right now I'm strong against the situation, but if I will avoid, I'm becoming weak against the situation. I will be dropping more energy into the situation thinking about it than just fixing it. So either fix it or put a time frame on it, or change your perspective. If it's a person that you could not, like if, for example, a colleague that you're working with and you could not stand, just change your perspective about that person. I also have a video, ways to protect and increase your energy. It's there are a lot of useful information also. I'm going to put in the description of this one. Now, the easiest way to stop the energy flow to somebody or to something is to start thinking opposite or something absurd. And I used to do this exercise for 2 months. So what do? I even put here, it is a good thing that you could not escape the vampire. Now, since you could not escape the vampire, you need to do something. You need to have enough strength to do something about the vampire. For example, you have a birthday and you're dating a guy, and your birthday came, and your man didn't bought you a present, and you're not like you're not very confident, so you could not just tell him, "Hey, where is the present?" And this situation bothers you every time you see him. The guy's not telling you nothing, and you're like, did he forgot? I mean, was he not even thinking about this? Like, is he going just to avoid this situation? So this situation is basically draining some energy from you, taking the energy from you. Now the guy feels something off, and the not buying present situation is also feeding the energy. So you both are losing energy to this situation, and you need to change it somehow. Now, how can you change? So you need to change it somehow. You need to think either opposite or something absurd. For example, opposite could be, well, he's probably saving for something big. I understand that this is only making up, but ideally you should just face the guy and tell him, hey, where is the present? But let's imagine you're not dating for too long. Maybe you're just dating for a couple months. Maybe he just thought that a big present would be inappropriate or something. Something absurd could be, I put it here, good thing that he didn't buy me nothing, because I would feel like I owe him, or I would have to buy something for his birthday, or now I have something against him. When the time is right, I can use it. Or he owes me a present now, and he knows that. Let me live with this. Let him live with this heaviness. I mean, obviously, these are all very petty kind of responses, but they are opposite. You see, now you're in power, and you are enjoying this power, and that's how you need to feel. And probably he probably will come up and like, hey, I forgot to buy your present. Do you want something? So you need to switch. To opposite view or absurd. So look, the situation takes energy and moves like this. Basically, grabs the energy, becomes bigger, grabs more energy, becomes even bigger and bigger and bigger. You need to stop this move. You see? And so the guy didn't buy you a present, and you're like, okay. But then next day you thought about it, and you're like, he didn't buy me a present, I can't believe. So you gave more energy, it became a little bigger. Then a week after, a friend of yours, you met a friend, and she's like, what did your significant other bought you? And you're like, nothing. And so the friend added the energy, and now this loop becomes even bigger. So the energy is grabbed. Now maybe your mom will ask you, and then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. You need to stop it. So that's why when it started like this, when it started bothering you, you need to stop it right away. If you will stop it with the opposite thought, it will start going like in the opposite direction. It will stop, because energy only goes in one direction. Should at least. So it will stop on its own. So if you will think, oh, okay, good thing that he didn't buy me, that means I don't need to buy him for his birthday. Hope and energy stop. The situation is not taking energy no more. You just need to be consistent with your thinking. But for the most part, that's it. Or if you will think about something opposite. Oh, okay, so I think he's just he's saving money for something bigger. It could be a little dangerous. Why? Because you start in a new loop, and that new loop will be like you have an expectation, and that new loop will expect that present at some point. But this is the easiest way. So if you have some people that are energy draining you, you need to stop it. So for example, you have a colleague, and you are not working with that person no more, but apparently, I mean, sometimes she's just coming back to your mind, and every time she comes to your mind, and you're like a little angry, and you just drop a little energy towards her. You just need to, well, ideally you should stop thinking about her. I mean, this is your ex-colleague, you shouldn't be even thinking about her. But if you don't have that, then you need to start thinking somewhat opposite. Like for example, she's probably missing me, or I miss how we used to fight all the time. I mean, I hope that's not true, but that's what it is. So for example, you have usually this is a man. So you had a boyfriend, and that boyfriend cheated on you. Let's go into the worst case scenario. So let's imagine he cheated on you, and every time you think about him, you think about that pain, you think how it hurted you, and it becomes bigger and bigger. So now every time I tell, somebody brings him up, you're like all anxious, because all your energy just goes straight into to that situation and to him. Now you need to start. How do you stop that loop? You basically need to start telling yourself something like, good thing that he cheated on me. I mean, now I can date anybody, or good thing that he cheated on me. Now I'm free. I can do anything I want. Or good thing that he cheated on me. I got rid of him without much problems. That was my second marriage. I was like kind of, I mean, it hurt me that he cheated on me, but I was like, I got out of the situation. It was pretty easy way out, so to say. And I think that was what stopped the energy drain in that direction. And then I just neutralized our breakup, and I basically brought it all to positive. I mean, it was an experience. It was not bad experience. So, I mean, it happened and it happened like that. Nothing in that past will take a drop of my energy again. Even now, I mean, the guy is obviously trying to talk to me. I'm an amazing person, and but he's not getting nothing. All I feel is like, okay, so we're cool, and that's it. Like nothing else. And you should do that also. And one more thing that I wanted to mention. Remember, nobody and nothing has the power to take your energy. My energy is pretty big, my aura is pretty wide, but even me, the person who can manipulate the energy, can transfer the energy, work with energy, I could not overpower even the weakest energy field. Now, I can manipulate the person to accept the energy somehow, if I would want to. I mean, obviously will never do, because I'm a Reiki master. I could not do nothing malicious. And obviously I could not invade other people's spaces. This is like a wrong thing to do. But if I decide that I want to influence that other person, I want to be this bad person, I won't be able to do. Only if I will play with their mind. So for example, I'm meeting somebody and I'm telling you, this person, I'm going to do this voodoo thing on you, and you will feel it. You will, your hands will become numb or something. I don't know what kind of creepy thing people say. So I will say something like this, and that person will start believing. If they believe me, then they accepted that energy. You see? So I want you to keep your power within you. Nobody can do that. And I spoke and I learn from a very, very strong people, and they all tell me the same thing. Nobody can overpower you. Now they can play with you and you will unwillingly accept, but that's pretty much it. Nobody can. And if it's somebody who works with energy, they are not going to harm you. This is the first rule of every energy practitioner. The first when I accepted the energy and became the Reiki practitioner first level, 0 level it is, I remember this was the first message that my master sent me. From now on, you have to observe your thoughts, your words, and you could not ever mean any harm to anybody. I accepted it. I knew that I'm accepted. So if it's an energy person, any person that works with energy, trust me, they are not going to wish you harm. They're not going to do nothing bad for you. Don't buy into that. Now, and even if this is not a, let's say, holistic kind of energy person, and they do something, nobody can penetrate your aura. Nobody. When I used to grow up, we used to have gypsy tribes. I mean, I guess they move around, and sometimes when they used to come to our city, they would like walk around and predict future and whatever. And sometimes when people wouldn't give them money, they would predict something bad, and people would believe them, and then and they would think about this again and again and again. But truthfully, the gypsies has no really power like that. All they have a power to they have a particular, I guess, reputation, and they have the power to influence your mind, and then you with this influence, you open your aura to some kind of negative beliefs. So I want you to remember this. Nobody can take your energy on their own. You will give it to them, and hopefully you wouldn't. If you will do the steps that I gave you, you won't be giving energy to anybody. You won't. And you will see how strong you are. You see, sometimes people do give energy just because they have a lot of energy. Like, for example, I knew this woman. She used to be my client in my previous career, and she used to live, she got 3 kids and a husband. Now her kids grew up and kind of moved out, and when they live on their own, you know, they all married, they have kids, so they basically on their own. She and her husband are basically like somewhat separated. They live their separate lives. Her whole life she was so busy. She was taking care of her parents, of her kids, of her husband. She was preoccupied. Now she's all by herself. She has a lot of energy and she doesn't know what to do with it. So she is feeding her energy everybody around. Why? Because she has so much of it and she doesn't know what to do. Ideally, she should have started some kind of business or project, or I'm not sure, charity, some kind of charity project, something to put this energy in. But since she doesn't do it, she basically just gives your energy all around. So sometimes we become feeders to the energetic leeches because we have too much of energy, and that's how it is. It's good if it's your family, would be bad if it would be whoever. Anyways, to sum it up, as a Reiki master, I can assure you there are no energetic vampires. There are somewhat energetic leeches, situations, people, circumstances that take energy because you willingly given it away. Now it's up to you to give the energy or not. Nobody can access your energy. You have an aura for that purpose. You see, you have an aura and energy is moving around you, just like Earth moves around the sun, or Earth moves around its own orbit. You also, your energy moves around you. Nobody can just scoop a little bit, you know, unless you give it yourself. You see, nobody can take it. That's impossible. I'm telling you, as a specialist in this is impossible. Now, but you can willingly give, and often this is what happens. We give to a lot of people, especially people that we touch, especially with the hand. If you need to touch somebody, touch with this side. You know, it's like in electricity. If you grab the wire, electric wire, your hand will close, and that's it. You will die. But if you will touch with this side, your hand could not close on the other side, and you will live. Now, do not touch people constantly. Try not to touch, especially people that you don't know. Especially if somebody is trying to grab your hand, trying to touch you, that means that they do want the energy. If you touch the person, chances are high that you will be, that person will be coming into your mind, and you will feed them their energy. Now, how to protect this? So if you have feminine energy, a lot of feminine energy, you're probably the one who is feeding. Make sure that you're feeding somebody or something that gives you something as well. Now, how to protect yourself? Watch your thoughts. As soon as your mood changes to something negative, go back a few minutes back and find that thought, that switch, that your wife. Find that thought and stop thinking about it. Start thinking about it in a different way. Maybe ideally would be to stop thinking completely, but if you could not, start thinking either opposite or somewhat absurd. I'm not sure. Like me, you know. Let's imagine I'm walking on the street. I smell that unfortunate smell from somewhere underground, and I'm like, I love this smell or something. I'm not sure. You need to observe your thoughts. Your thoughts are indicators where your focus is and where your energy is, and it's up to you whether your thoughts are going to be hanging in other people, in other situations, or in you, or in something that inspires you. If you could not stop thinking about a particular person, switch the focus to something good with that person. Whether it's your friend and you guys had a fight or something, remember the good things. I mean, the friend was a friend for a reason. Or if it's your boyfriend, think about the good, happy moments that you shared together. Remember that feeling negative is a habit, and you can change the habit. It will take some time, but you will be able to change it. If you could not escape the things or people that are draining you, then just face them or give them a time frame. And please do watch the video on ways to protect and increase your energy. I spoke about this in that video a lot. And remember that nobody is more powerful than you, no matter how strong or big your energy is. They can influence you from the outside, but they will never be able to breach your aura, even if your aura is falling apart. It's almost impossible. Because if somebody is able to breach your aura, then you're dead. You are not alive. You see, there is a purpose why we have that aura. There is a purpose why we have energy around us, is to protect us, to protect our consciousness, to protect the physical body that experiences the world. Now, if somebody can easily go through and just get into this aura, then the person is already not living, you see, not experiencing nothing. That's the only way. If somebody is telling me, oh my God, I'm so much stronger than you, I'm so much powerful than you, they just intimidate and they're trying to get into your head. That's it. Nobody can. I assure you. You can hold me accountable on that. Nobody can. They can influence you, but they won't be able to. That's just how it is. Even I remember my grandfather used to tell me, when the gypsies come and tell you something bad, don't believe them. They are only trying to scare you. And you know, those words, they stay with me for a long time. I mean, I never really had interactions with no, not like this. I had interactions with gypsies, but they were not those ones that come and let me predict your future, you know, give me some money. They were people that were like, they were normal people. So what I want to say, don't allow anybody to scare you, to intimidate you, because that's not how things work. All right, that's it for now. Please do send this video to anybody, to those that are so afraid that they that the energy is taken from them, that don't know how to protect themselves. Please do follow, comment, ask questions, and like. I do really appreciate all of this. It helps me grow and maybe keep my focus on YouTube more. And I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody, enjoy your day.